All right, we have Isaac Moreno on the show. He returns to action this Sunday at Fury FC 42 in Houston, Texas, taking on Juan Zamudio for the amateur welterweight title. Isaac, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So this is amateur fight number 5 for you, all of which have been for Fury FC. It's officially fight week. How excited are you to get back in there and kick off 2020 with a bang?
I mean, super excited. I love being in the cage. And I mean, this week, I've just been chilling, just cutting this weight slowly and just getting mentally prepared.
So you just turned 22 years old, I saw doing my research. You're legitimately just getting started with your fighting career, but how did this MMA journey begin for you? Like, when did you realize that, hey, I got to find a gym, I want to go give this crazy sport of mixed martial arts a go? How did that all start for you?
Well, I started martial arts when I was 3, and I've competed all over. I did everything that I could do in sport karate, which is point fighting, and did continuous world championships in both, and just took a break once I got into high school. And I focused on football. I had scholarships to play, and I tore my ACL my senior year. So after that, I was determined, I'm going to be a walk-on. Gave that a shot, and turned out it wasn't for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my roots and start fighting again. And that's what I did. And Gracie Baja Katie was right there. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go try it out. And automatically, I think I got into the gym, and then about 2 months later, I had my first fight. So
was it like riding a bike for you, being in martial arts for so long, or did you need to sort of get humbled back up a little bit and sort of back into the martial arts mentality, so to speak?
Not really, just because martial arts has been a part of my life since I could walk. So it was nothing new to me. I've competed on big stages before. I've competed under bright lights, and I just love that atmosphere. I love when all eyes are on me and I'm just doing what I love. And I mean, of course, the conditioning part was a little tough just to get back in there. I mean, I was lifting weights. I had to cut so much weight for my first fight, and then after that, I mean, everything's been going great so far. So,
was it different getting in the cage and fighting when you made your amateur debut, or was it sort of similar? Obviously, like MMA and point kickboxing is two totally different things. Do you remember like what the emotions were, like what you were feeling, getting hit in the face for the first time in an MMA cage? What was that like for you?
I mean, yeah, it opened my eyes, and my first fight was the fight that I took the most damage in. It was just, my first fight was really getting the feel of what MMA was, and I fought at 185, and that's when I figured out that 185 was not for me. And I decided to cut those 15 pounds. But, I mean, I still got the W. I submitted him in the 3rd round. And, well, it was a tough fight. I took a lot of shots, which in point fighting, you don't really take shots. And I'm usually the one giving the shots. So it was totally different to receive. And, yes, I got humbled a little bit. It was a learning experience. And, I mean, like I said, everything's been going great from there. With every fight, I've been getting better and better, and really detailing what I'm doing in the cage. So my coaches are very specific. They're super picky. They want everything crisp and to the T. So that's what we try to do at every single fight camp.
Do you feel like that first fight is the one you've learned the most from, or is there another fight that maybe you faced some adversity you've had to overcome and whatnot?
I mean, that first one was my toughest fight. Just because it was my first fight. I was very inexperienced. Well, in the cage at least, because point fighting, like I said, I've fought under the bright lights in front of thousands of people, and it's nothing different. It's just being in that cage and being in that environment. It's a different environment. It's a different vibe out there, and it's a little hectic. And well, this guy's trying to take everything I worked for, and I'm trying to do the same thing. So it's it's really crazy, but I mean, I enjoy the rush, and I mean, I make the best of it. So,
Is Juan someone you're familiar with as far as being in the Texas area? Like, I don't think you guys have shared any cards or anything before this, but is Juan a guy that's sort of been on your radar?
no, I mean, I don't really look at film. I don't look at anything. I don't even look up who I'm fighting. Um, all I do is I train as best as I can, and I work on my game. I don't focus on anyone else's game. Um, because when I'm in there, I'm not thinking about what they're doing. I make my adjustments, I make my reads, and I mean, I go out there and I do what I do. So that's, I mean, I don't, no one's really on my radar. No one's really on, I mean, I respect every fighter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not cocky. I'm not anything like that. I'm very humble, and I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Like, I know everyone in there can hurt me. In MMA, all it takes is one punch. All it takes is one punch. You can be winning a fight, and you just take one punch and lights out. So it's everyone. I respect everyone, and but I don't really look at my fighters or anyone that I'm fighting. I just focus on myself, focus on my conditioning, my skills, and that's what I do.
You mentioned that this is such a crazy game, and it's it's all about evolving and improving, getting better from one fight to the next. What are you hoping to showcase on Sunday to, I guess, sort of show off the improvements you've made since your last fight?
I mean, my wrestling and jiu-jitsu have have improved leaps and bounds. So that's really what I'm excited for. I mean, I love standing up. I love trading. So, and I mean, what I've heard is that this guy likes to trade. So, I mean, we're gonna have a good fight.
How do you see this all going down on Sunday? How do you get this done?
I mean, I keep my distance. I'm not, like I said, I don't like predicting. I don't like anything. I mean, I'm very positive in myself, and I like visualizing a lot. I visualize a lot, but I keep everything to myself. I'm not, like I said, I'm not cocky. I'm not arrogant. I'm very humble, and whatever happens, happens, but I'm going out there for the W. So
We're obviously not looking past Sunday at all, but when do you feel like the time is gonna come for the step up from ammy to pro? Do you feel like we're close here? Is this it?
Definitely. It's coming close. That's all left in my father and my coach's hands. So they really have the decision to when I go pro. I'm not trying to take anything too fast, but when they see I'm ready, that's when I'm going to go pro. And I mean, we've been talking about it, so it's coming up fast.
So you're on this journey with your father.
Yes, he's been pretty much my head coach since I was 3 years old. He's pushed me. He's been by my side. He sees all of my decisions. Like he helps me make all my decisions. And I mean, my dad's my rock, so we're like PB&J. He's always with me, and every fight he's there since I was small. Every single fight, I won my first world championship with him. I've gone undefeated with him. I mean, he's my dad. He knows what's best for me, and what are the right moves that I should make. So yeah, his I don't know. I can't express my feelings towards my pops being there and being with me on this journey. So
it's like talking to the next generation of Wonder Boy right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's point. That's the thing about point fighting. It's a lot of people underestimate it, and then when you get to share a sport with your father, it's just so much. It's so different than when you're just coming up by yourself. And I mean, I've been blessed to have both my parents behind me. I've been blessed to have my father with me through my entire journey. And well, my family's super supportive, so I have like a strong base under me. So it's awesome. It's awesome.
Is it kind of weird fighting in Houston after all the negativity that happened with the UFC a couple weeks ago? It's all about the judging, and now we're trying to tear apart the whole scoring structure ever since that event. Is it a little weird, like, fighting back in Houston after all the negativity?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's a fight. I'm an amateur. These fights, they all erase once I go pro. So I'm just trying to get in there, get as much experience as I can, and then move on to the next. And hopefully by the next one, I mean, they fix the judging system and everything. But I mean, I'm from Houston. That's my city. I love my city, and well, I love fighting at home. So
it's not going to affect you at all in any
no,
way.
Sir.
All right.
No, sir.
Well, we look forward to it. Isaac Moreno joining the show for the first time. Potentially could be his last amateur fight, but we'll see what happens on Sunday in Houston, Texas at Fury FC 42. Appreciate you jumping on, Isaac. Before we let you go, let the folks know where they can find and follow you on the web, social media, any shout-outs, sponsors, anything else you want to get off your chest. The floor is yours.
Well, my social media, my Instagram is Primetime Moreno. Shout out to Max Strength and Performance for keeping me right. GC Fit Meals. They've been keeping me on track with all my weight. And like I said, Max Strength and Performance has really been pushing me. AP Boxing and Gracie Baja Katie and Gracie Baja Brownsville. Thank y'all for everything. And thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Isaac, all the best to you on Sunday. Appreciate the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great day.